Kevin Harlan here. This Saturday, 5:30 Eastern, the NBA crew is back on Prime as the Emirates NBA action heats up from Vegas for a thrilling semifinals doubleheader. Then on Tuesday night, December 16th at 8:30 Eastern, the last two teams standing will square off in the championship game for a shot at the cup, bragging rights, and a place in NBA history. And Prime is your exclusive home for it all. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a free 30-day trial to get started today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details. Don't miss the thrilling conclusion of the Emirates NBA Cup live from Las Vegas, starting with the semifinals this Saturday night only on Prime.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. The next time you're out with friends, consider what would happen if you got pulled over after drinking, like the legal fees or the time in court, or a DUI on your record. Your decision to drink and drive could change someone else's world too, if you hurt or even kill them in a crash. Instead, what if a decision to call a sober ride changed your world for the better? Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild with me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan? Brave the Wild is available on all your favorite podcasting apps and, of course, also on the Hockey Podcast Network, also known as THPN. I want to thank Dylan and Kyle so much for having me on board that wonderful network coming out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Great guys there, of course, and lots of wonderful hockey podcasts like A Devil's State of Mind and others, of course. New Jersey Devils. The Minnesota Wild, well, they played like something. I don't know. They stunk pretty badly, actually, in the Northwest this past week. Basically going 1 out of 3 at the end of the day. Yeah, so not a very good week. And, of course, yeah, if you've been keeping up with the Minnesota Wild, you saw it. I mean, the Wild just can't beat Calgary. They just can't beat Calgary. That's kind of like the title of the episode, basically. The Wild can't beat Calgary. Nope. And now we can't beat Vancouver all of a sudden. That was annoying. And then come back and beat a halfway decent Seattle team, all on the road, of course. At Calgary, at Vancouver, at Seattle. 3 games to review. We got 4 games coming up as well. Again, I don't want to make this too much of just game reviewy and make it topical if possible. That's what I've been trying to do. But, of course, off and on, I don't know. Obviously some off-the-mic things going on. Nothing too serious, just busy with things. So, and I stupidly didn't do a bat signal or a poll once again this week, which obviously makes fan interaction better, gets more people involved. I'd like to hear from you more than me just flapping my gums up here, and it's my own fault. So I'm getting the James Shepard Memorial for this episode, at least in terms of that. Like that's on me. I'm not going to necessarily. It's got to be a certain player, and it might be a similar one, if you know what I mean. This past couple weeks here, but. Yeah, that'd be great if people could score a little bit, particularly in Calgary and Vancouver. I don't know what the hell. The Wild actually only had 2 regular goals in Seattle and then a couple of empty netters. But you know what? We'll take the empty netters. Thank you. It's something. It's something. So that was where the 4-1 win came. 4 games coming up as well. So a busy schedule, all in Grand Casino Arena. I've been calling it XL Energy Center again. So imagine that. I mean, why would I call it XL Energy Center? Let's see. It was the same arena or center or stadium or whatever. No, arena. We don't call that a stadium for 25 years. So I suppose that's going to get stuck on your mind. Heck, I mean, sometimes I find myself calling U.S. Bank Stadium the Metrodome. Think about it. Sometimes it might sound really weird, especially since we're 10 years removed from, well, more than 10 years removed from the Metrodome. But sorry, I'm babbling. Dallas, Ottawa, Boston, and Washington all coming to see, there it goes again. And I did not do that on purpose. All coming to Grand Casino Arena. You think I'm just joking? No, I did not do that on purpose. So, my apologies. Yeah, it's a busy month of December. Wild have another home New Year's Eve game. This one against the Sharks. I could imagine what that'll be like. That'll be on the road. Wild have not been playing against the Sharks really particularly well of late, and they're getting better. They're decent. I mean, they're not great. They're 500, but heck, Winnipeg's 500 now. That's weird after last year. Winnipeg tends to do that too, don't they? Where they'll have this big year, and then the next year they'll come back with they'll just come back flat as a pancake. Kind of like the certain purple and gold team that plays a little bit east of here. A little east of Golden Valley, Minnesota, and Minneapolis. Ever heard of them? Maybe. Okay, let's just get to it. Sorry. And generally speaking, like if you want to get topical here, obviously the Vladimir Tarasenko move has been, disappointment to say the least. I mean, he has been a non-factor. That's the best way to put it. He's just a non-factor. 23 games. Well, he did get his third goal finally. It took like half his life. That was an empty netter versus Seattle, but I guess it's better than nothing. He finally got his third goal. Again, it's I don't know. There's just nothing there. It's like, what are we doing here? So I'm not sure what to say. Obviously, 3 goals, 8 assists, 23 points, or 23 in 23 games, 11 points. He's projected for 30. 30. When you acquired Vladimir Tarasenko, were you hoping he was going to score 30 points for you? Obviously, he's missed a little bit of time, but not that much. 30 points. I mean, oof. So a lot of people have been saying, and I'm tending to agree, that there's a pretty good chance he won't finish the season with the Minnesota Wild, just because that's just kind of how things go. Maybe it might be released or something, bought out. I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm not sure exactly what you can do, but obviously you can buy him out, but maybe they can't. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a conundrum. I mean, can you trade him? Probably not, unless St. Louis would just love to see him in their colors again, I guess. I mean, that's the only other possible option. Calgary game, though, Wild came out flat and pretty much got spanked. And it's just, this seems to be a trend. I mean, it's been going on forever, going at least back to the Boudreau days, but I think well before Boudreau, like way before. Like, we'd win games maybe 2-1 versus Calgary in the Mike Yeo era. And then next thing you know, it'd be like this. It'd be like 4-1, 5-2, games like that, where you just kind of lose. It's just a flat out loss. And your only goal scorer was Jakob Trenin. That's all you need to know, isn't it, pretty much? Steve William, thankfully, getting another assist, so good for him. But, I mean, he's definitely had his ups and downs as a rookie. He's a -10. He's got 13 points in 30 games. He's not jumping out that much. He's been okay, definitely not dazzling. He flashes on occasion. Last year he didn't at all, in my opinion. When people were saying, he flashes, did he, though? And I've repeated that like 16 times on this show. Marco Rossi hasn't returned yet, and that sucks. 17 games, 13 points for him, and we appreciate what he's done. Brock Faber's been a little on the quieter side. Nice to see Julian Eriksson and Ek emerging for the most part, but still not on pace for what he was before that, snake bit season last year. Like the years before, Julian Eriksson Ek, looked like he was projecting to become a 70-point player. This year he's projecting to get 52 points in 82 games. And notice what I'm doing. Knock on wood. Please. As that's definitely a huge topic as well. As the Wild just, be it freak injuries like getting blindsided in Mr. Zuccarello's case, or just, just getting hurt. Just plain old getting hurt. Brodin has had his ups and downs throughout his career with injuries, and that's why he doesn't stand out quite as much as he used to. He's already kind of getting older, which is weird. Seems like yesterday Brodin was a young player, like a prospect, and then a up-and-comer, and then, he's a good young defenseman, and yeah, not anymore. Time flies when you're having fun or not so much. Danilo Urov's been stuck at 7 points for a while, unfortunately. Jake Middleton went from like 2 to 6, so he's been creeping in there. He's been getting some assists, been chipping in a bit, and we appreciate that very much here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Golden Valley, Minnesota, in my case. Yes, I'm from Golden Valley. I've mentioned that thousands of times. You're probably tired of it. Kaprizov and Boldy still continue to lead the team in scoring, but the team's just generally not scoring that much, unless it's a couple of empty netters versus Seattle, which we appreciate. Otherwise, a couple of just duds. I mean, we're talking duds here against Calgary and Vancouver. Again, Jakob Trenin, and that's it. Gustafsson. I mean, things looked so promising, and then it just, I don't know. Things looked promising fairly early, and then it just kind of snowballed as he went forward. Whereas Vancouver is actually the one I'm really thinking about being promising, where, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know. calls you don't agree with, or just a bad bounce, or this or that, and things just kind of snowballed in Vancouver, and that kind of left us all just like throwing our hands up in the air. We couldn't believe it. Certainly frustrating and sad to see Jesper Wallstedt giving up 4 goals, officially 4 goals in this one, going from what he had been. And of course, you know how it's hockey, things happen, you know, be it a bad bounce, a disagreeable call, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, it's frustrating, obviously. 11 games, 8-1, so he gets his first regulation loss, him being Jesper Wallstedt. Of course, he has 2 overtime losses on the year. Luckily, that one didn't, it's not like he got shelled, but, you know, 4 goals is 4 goals, and it's like they say, you're going to get beat. And like I've been talking about, you're going to get beat. I mean, you're not going to be this, you know, stonewall forever. You're going to get beat sometimes. His save percentage still just dazzling, 93.6. 4 shutouts on the season, 195 goals against average. Dazzling numbers still despite that game. So luckily, again, it's not like he got shellacked. It's not like it was a 7-1 loss to the Dallas Stars or anything. Nudge, nudge. We all remember that. And it wasn't really, that game wasn't all his fault years ago, but it still sucked. It still sucked. Gustafson's definitely been improving. That Seattle game was just what the doctor ordered for him. So getting his goals against average down to 267. Save percentage almost 91. So that's awesome. Still 500 on the year, which has got to be frustrating for him. 500, really? 8-8, and then 3 overtime losses. So it's like, man, that's got to kind of suck a little bit. So, but it's just, you know, he's been snake bit a bit, you know, but just bad bounces, weak effort, just weak scoring. I don't know. It's frustrating. And that's basically the best way to describe it. When, you know, this past week has just been it's been a nasty one, generally speaking, until the Seattle game where we all just felt a little bit better. Zuccarello luckily did score. But Zuccarello and Boldy officially were the goal scorers against the Vancouver Ken Schmucks. No defenseman had any assists in this one, but Zuccarello had a multi-point game, as did Matt Boldy. So Trennan's been kind of chipping away here and there. He's definitely having a better season this year, where we're not begging for him to get bought out or something. With Tarasenko, it's like, yeah, I mean, didn't we all kind of know? I mean, it's like, it's cool. It's like, I repeat myself. I know I've been repeating myself a bit, but how did Vladimir Tarasenko in a Wild jersey? That looks kind of cool, but then it's like, shoot, again, it's like, imagine if you were a Kansas City Royals fan and Harmon Killebrew, you know, put the uniform on, which he did, and he batted 150 because it was the 1 year too many type of thing. And the sad part is Tarasenko's not that old though, but he's already kind of hitting the wall. Whereas Harmon Killebrew in his final season with, you know, playing for the Kansas City Royals, played that 1 year too many and batted like 150 or whatever. It was like, you know, I mean, that's Harmon Killebrew. Yeah, it's Harmon Killebrew, and he can't even bat 200. Ouch. And that's kind of what Tarasenko's doing. I often compare, for some reason, hockey and baseball for whatever reason, like, because like the timing and all that, and like, you know, it's like hitting some home runs, whatever, in AAA, you know, that kind of thing. When you send a player down to AAA, you know, which would be the AHL, and you get some results. Hopefully, maybe the guy becomes a point-a-game player at the AHL level and brings up some confidence, a la Joel Eriksson Ek. I'd like to see more of that from Ogren rather than, I don't know. I mean, what do you do with Ogren? Do you send him down to the AHL again, for like the 5,000th time, it seems like, and he's a point-a-game type of player down there, maybe even better. So I don't know what the hell's going on in Iowa. I don't think anybody does. We'll get to that later. Or, you know, like 8 minutes, 5 minutes, 9 minutes. Oh my God, he got 9 minutes in a game. Ooh, he must be just, you know, he must be just winded. Yeah, no, I mean, just, you know, he's rotting on the fourth line basically, and not getting opportunities on the power play. And I don't know, your line mates are Nico Sturm at this moment, which is okay. Sturm's a nice player, but he's not a scorer. Tyler Pitlick hasn't scored a goal in, you know, forever. So he hasn't scored a point in forever, not just a goal. So 18 games and no points for Tyler Pitlick. It's kind of like, I don't know what to tell you with Liam Milgren at the end of the day. Like, he's not really getting the golden opportunities. And at times when he has been up there, again, still hasn't scored when he's up in the top 6. But it seems like it's so few and far between. What the hell can you do, as a certain old Viking coach once said. When Would like to see Damon Hunt get more ice time as well. Obviously, third pairing, it is what it is. That's kind of what he is at this moment. But I don't know, getting out there more rather than just being healthy scratch forever. I'm glad that Ogren isn't just scratched all the time, but but obviously his role is so tiny. I can't imagine it's a confidence booster at all. It'd be nice to see something. I mean, Marco Rossi scored multiple times from the fourth line in the postseason, so he made the most of actually being on the ice last year to say, like, yeah, I'm better than this fourth line type of deal. I can still, play no matter what line you put me on. So there is that. Ogren certainly hasn't been doing that, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, both of the two players at different stages in their development, so that's part of it as well. And I just... It's a sad thing right now. I mean, you'd love to see Ogren become what a lot of us believe he can, but he just simply hasn't yet, unfortunately. So it's a stump.
Lowe's December deal drops are here, just in time to give your home some love before holiday hosting. This week, get up to 35% off select major appliances. And members, save an additional $60 on the Maytag top-load laundry pair, now just $9.96. Plus, save up to $20 on select Moen kitchen and bathroom faucets. Shop December deal drops all month long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/17. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, radio host, sports commentator, former drummer for the Black Crowes. The winter holidays are here, a time for festive celebrations, family gatherings, and ringing in the new year. Whether it's a holiday party, a night out with friends, or just relaxing by the fire with a few drinks, it's a season full of good cheer. But here's something else to add to your holiday plans, a safe and sober ride home. Just like in sports and music, always have a game plan. And the most important part of any plan is sticking to it. If you plan to drink, take that plan a step further. Call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or have a designated driver lined up before the night begins. Drinking and driving is a decision that can change your life and the lives of others forever. A DUI, a crash, an injury. The consequences are real and lasting. So please, for your sake and for everyone else on the road, make the smart choice. Get a sober ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's a bummer. It is what it is. Everything just went dark on me. Sorry about that. Again, the Vancouver game just not a nice night for the Minnesota Wild. Some nasty bounces, some frustrating calls, and I don't know. Blaming the refs in this one though is definitely not an option. If you're going to blame the refs in this one, it's the play of the team. They just weren't. Be it lack of focus, preparation, whatever it is, just like thinking, oh yeah, we'll be fine. We can beat Vancouver, and they just didn't. Vancouver showed up, and the Wild kind of didn't in that one. The thing. So it basically was the thing. That's about the best way to describe it. Why does this look all weird? Okay, no, it's right. It does look weird. Wow, that was weird. It's like the whole thing was scrambled. I don't think I've seen that happen before. Anyhow, the Seattle Kraken. The Minnesota Wild visit the Seattle Sea Krakens. Okay, just kidding. Monday, December the 8th, and then it's a few days off, unfortunately. It's like, don't you just love those stretches where it's like 3-4 days and nothing? It's like, dang it. Gustafsson, though, again, like what the doctor ordered, getting one of those wins. Unfortunately for him, just getting back to 500, stopping 23 of 24 shot attempts, save percentage about 96. And good for him. Kaprizov getting an empty netter, Boldy assist. Joel Eriksson Ek had a 3-point game in this one, including including one of the actual important goals in the game, not one of the empty netters. So obviously huge importance there. I would call him the star of the game, no doubt about that. So obviously very exciting to see Mr. Joel Eriksson Ek score the opening goal of the game at the end of the day. But Marcus Johansson would score the game winner, and then Joel Eriksson Ek would get the assist. So that was obviously a great thing. And nice to see Damon Hunt out there. Obviously, great feeling there to see Damon Hunt on the ice. It had been a while. He had about 6-7 games forever, and then it kept getting scratched. But Damon Hunt is a worthy third pair defenseman at the very least. Zeev Williams' minutes definitely have been reduced a bit. This one was a funky lineup as well with the way things were set up. Zuccarello only 5 minutes, again because blindsided, unfortunately. So we'll see what the recovery time is there. That could be a huge bummer. Obviously, losing Zuccarello is a big deal. Remember when the Wild struggled early in the season, Zuccarello comes back and it was a different ball game, or puck game, or whatever you call it. Ogren certainly had more minutes in this, went up to 13. Managed to get a couple shots on goal, but unfortunately to no avail, much to our chagrin. Mystery of the universe. Well, Vladimir Tarasenko did finally score his third goal of the season. Again, an empty netter late. Final goal of the game, actually, the fourth goal. He played 18 and a half minutes in the game, which is stunning. 18 and a half minutes. And it's funny when you look at Marcus Johansson and Vladimir Tarasenko playing the exact amount of minutes, you think, oh, years ago you'd think Marcus Johansson played as many minutes as Tarasenko? What the heck? What are we doing? And right now we're thinking the dead opposite, because Johansson's been so good this year, unexpectedly. He's been a wonderful surprise. Now, again, let's stay away from 3-year extensions with no move clauses, please. Oh, I can see you shuddering in the back there. Oh, makes your back, you're just shuddering like just ice going down your back. You can't believe what you just heard. Yeah. Yeah, whereas Tarasenko now, it's like he played as many minutes as Johansson. Okay, sure. Well, at least he got an empty netter. That's why he was a +1, because he scored an empty net goal. Johansson and Boldy, both a +3, along with Jularksenak. Again, those guys all playing fantastic. Really appreciate their effort in this one. They were by far the best line in this game. Ek, Boldy, Johansson, not Tarasenko. Otherwise, apologize for the noise here. What the heck? Okay, good. Sorry. But yeah, that's the second line, if we can call it that, which we will, was definitely the top line in this one. No doubt about it. Hartman's going back into his doldrums of nothing land, which is cute, I guess. It's to be expected, I suppose. Ryan Hartman, it's obviously he's kind of a every 2 weeks kind of guy where it's like, oh, he's a top 6 player again. Wow, look at him. And then it's like, no, he really isn't. Never has been, never will be. If he plays well on the third line, hell yeah. If he, that doesn't mean move him up to the top line necessarily, other than if there's injuries and other things, or maybe it's an in-game thing like, oh, what the heck, he's playing great, why not? That type of thing. Give him some extra opportunities. But, it is what it is. It's kind of like fantasy in a way where a player's playing well, capitalize on it, I suppose. But Hartman hasn't been doing anything all that special of late, unfortunately. Generally speaking, again, glad the Wild beat the Seattle Kraken. That's the good thing. And haven't really killed their standing, haven't really hurt their standing so much. That's the good part. And then we get the real test, the team that we face in the playoffs for the third time I think it would be in franchise history. If the playoffs lined up today, we're 10 points behind them, by the way. They're called the Dallas Stars. Ever heard of them? Yeah, I know. I'm sick of them too. Ugh. Yeah, Wild still in third place in the division, 5 points ahead of a old rival going back to the North Star days called the Chicago Blackhawks. 5 points ahead of them, as obviously things are different now. They're above 500 at the very least. St. Louis is way down there. Nashville just beat Colorado in overtime, which makes you kind of chuckle a little bit, thinking, well, yeah, the Wild beat Colorado in overtime. Yeah, so did Nashville. They're a -25 on the year. The Wild are a measly +4 because of the awful start. It is kind of funny. Like, Nashville beat Colorado. I got to see that on the NHL Network here, as you do the on-the-fly stuff, or if you do the ESPN Plus thing, which I also do because I love hockey, doggone it. Yes, I want to watch the Wild the most, but hey, if there's a game on and it's a worthwhile show, go for it, baby. But yes, the Wild definitely maintaining their position in the standings. But yeah, opportunity to maybe get closer to second place would have been nice. Odds of the Wild catching the Dallas Stars, I think, are very slim. Colorado and Dallas, clearly the favorites in the Western Conference right now. That could be a conference championship round, depending on how things match up. But then again, I suppose divisions, oftentimes they might bump into each other in the second round. But we'll let that play out as it does, I suppose. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Vegas might end up exploding, or the Los Angeles Kings, who just lost to Seattle in overtime, which I enjoyed last night, may bump up to second in the conference. Who knows? Edmonton Oilers are still around. they're still around. They still might do something. Two teams that I would think are not going to catch the Dallas Stars in the standings, particularly in the point department, are Calgary, Vancouver. Probably not, but the Wild lost to both of them this past week. Phenomenal. Now we get to play the Dallas Stars for real in Grand Casino Arena. The Mike Modano Award winner for this particular episode, I'm going to go with Joel Eriksson Ek. Obviously stepped up wonderfully against the Seattle Kraken, and generally speaking, I think he's back to being Joel Eriksson Ek, and I've really enjoyed what he's been doing out there. Sorry, I'm still having issues. Obviously, it's not a cold or anything. It's a combination of allergies and, the sore chest from, injuries and such. So it's harder to cough when you have a sore chest. Yeah. Anyhow, where am I going with this? Yes, Joel Eriksson Ek getting the Modano Award. The James Shepard Memorial is going to be, I guess it's Ryan Hartman. I'd want to say Tarasenko again, because, every analytic shows that player after player after player on the team, when they're on the ice with Tarasenko, it's all the analytics are like the weakest, the worst, basically. So we heard about that a bit on Locked On Wild and such. So generally speaking, I'm going to go with maybe a tie with Ryan Hartman and Vladimir Tarasenko, just kind of not being a factor at all. Can't give Tarasenko the same thing every single week. That might not go over all too well. It might just feel like I'm just kind of going on and on and on, and not really being all too, just being lazy, going for the low-hanging fruit every week, so to speak. But even Ryan Hartman kind of turns himself into low-hanging fruit at times. With that, we'll take a quick break and look at some of the upcoming games, look at the prospects, and unfortunately a truncated fan interaction segment in segment 3, because my own fault. 1,000% my fault for not saying anything all week. That's what I get. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 2. Time to look at the upcoming 4 games. Only 4? Oh, is that all? Yeah, it's 4 games. So it's good, though. It's good. We get to watch some hockey. What do you think of that? Otherwise, we're going to hear from DraftKings right here and right now. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me state, and you better show me, all right. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per-bet wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. I apologize. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. Well, Dallas Stars. Then you get a matinee 1 p.m. game against the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, yep. And then a back-to-back. The Wild hosts the Boston Bruins after the... Well, no, this is actually before. So the Wild... this is before the Viking game. Viking game on Sunday night. Let's see if McCarthy and O'Connell can put together couple games where the offense is actually set up properly for McCarthy, and that he actually obviously again executes as well. Dallas Stars. Oh boy, Dallas Stars, Thursday, December 11th. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds like a familiar day today. Well, let's look at this. Dallas Stars, obviously second most points in the Western Conference, 21-5-5 in the season. Wonderful. Where's the season series? Yep, the Dallas Stars beat the Wild back on October 14th when the Wild couldn't, they just stunk. It was a 5-2 loss there. That was in Dallas. Remember, there was a stretch that went from like 2001, not 2021, 2001, well, obviously, and then it ended, I forget what, I'll be blanking on what year it was, but I believe it was about 20-year stretch where the Wild couldn't even win in Dallas. It's pretty ridiculous. I'd have to look that one up, but I don't need to bring that up every single time we play them, I suppose. You're probably getting bored with that. This game and the next one will be in Xcel Energy Center. The Wild will not play the Dallas Stars until March 21st. There'll be a lot more sunlight around that time than right now, and then April 9th, very late in the year. Jockeying for number 2 or number 1 in the West, huh? Yeah, we'll see. Stars obviously have been pretty good. They've won 4 in a row. Good for them. Damn it. They lost to the Rangers on December 2nd, and haven't lost since. Man. Yep. It is what it is. The Wild have been kind of up and down. We had our good moments, and now we're back to being more of an up and down team. This is a very difficult matchup coming up for sure. The Stars are 3rd in goals. The Wild are 26th. Oof. Power play. Stars are 2nd. Wild are 11th. Okay. The shooting percentage, I don't bring this up much, but the Stars are number 1 in the league. The Wild are 27th. Goals against. Stars are 7th. The Wild are 8th. Okay. Nice thing there. Penalty kill. The Stars are 9th. The Wild are 17th, which is very respectable. But, of course, the best penalty killer in the league is the goaltender. And when you have guys getting shutouts, that helps. Penalty minutes. The Dallas Stars are 13th in the league, so this has gone opposite of what it was before. When it says 32nd now for the Wild, we have the least penalty minutes, which is a miracle. We used to be like way at the top. So it should say it's just backwards. Like they used to say you're number 1 in penalty minutes in terms of like you have the least. Well, now it's showing that we have the least penalty minutes. So we're 32nd, so that's a good thing. The Stars are 13th in the league in penalty minutes, so maybe it is better they do that, so it's not like backwards, weird sounding, I guess. So, yes, we have the least penalty minutes in the league, we being the Minnesota Wild, which has definitely helped our cause for several things. So, yeah, that's the reason why the Wild are above 500 is things like that. That's a very important intangible if you want to have success in the NHL. This is the NHL. We cannot play like kids at a time. Okay, sorry. We go to bed, we worry. We get up, we worry, and when we dream about being worried. So, sorry. Casey DeSmith actually has the best goals against average, but yeah, that's okay. Jake Ottender's at 2.49, Casey DeSmith 2.23. Obviously, great goaltending there in Dallas. 2 shutouts for Ottinger, 1 for Casey DeSmith, the former Pittsburgh Penguin, right? But in a reserve role, 7-1. It's when you're in, just things are going well for you. Mikko Rantanen, 42 points in 30 games. Huge acquisition a couple of years back, and he's been a stud, unfortunately for us. Jason Robertson's back to being a top of the league goal scorer type of guy, top end kind of guy. He might not be the best player in the league or anything, but he's way up there. 39 points in 31 games. He's got more points than Kirill the Thrill. It's been a constant kind of back and forth between those two since the whole Calder years ago. Wyatt Johnson's 3rd on the team in scoring, 36 points. He's got more points than Boldy and Kaprizov. So it's a team with a lot of depth and scoring and all that good stuff. Sam Steele, everyone thought he was the greatest thing in the world. It's okay, he's fine. 31 points, or 31 games, not 31 points. Maybe at the end of the year, 10 points on the year. So good for him. Issa Lindell. I'll get off. Issa Lindell as well. He's not the leader in plus minus, but he's at 16. Jason Robertson's at 17. So there you go. Tyler Stengen's hanging in there with 27 games, 17 points. Obviously not the same, but they're doing fine one way or another with the younger talent kicking some butt there in Dallas. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a really tough one. I'd love to pick the Wild to beat the Dallas Stars, but history is on the Stars' side in so many ways. It's just been a tough one, and the Wild have not played particularly well the past few games. going to predict a Dallas Stars victory. Unfortunately, 3-2, 4-2 with an empty netter, possibly, that type of thing. I mean, it's hockey. You're going to get empty netters all the time because that's just the way the game is if it's a close game. I don't think the Stars wallop the Wild tonight, but I do think the Stars beat the Wild, unfortunately. Most likely guy to score for the Minnesota Wild is going to be... It's the Dallas Stars. I have no idea. Yeah, it's like I'm getting these oddball vibes. I'd love to say Vladimir Tarasenko because of the old, St. Louis Dallas thing. Obviously there was some great series and great playoff series and just regular season games for many years. Obviously, I guess I'm gonna pick Vladimir Tarasenko. I don't know what the heck. I'm weird. I'm picking Vladimir Tarasenko to score against the Stars tonight, but unfortunately in a non-winning effort. Back-to-back games with the goals. What am I on right now? I have no idea. Saturday, December the 13th at 1 p.m. How about this, huh? Well, how about this? Yeah, Ottawa Senators are only one game above 500. A little disappointing. I thought they were going to be better this year. I don't know. I mean, Linus Ullmark, who's been an all-star level goalie, save percentage is 87.7. Goals against average of 3.05. Ouch. That's not, I don't know. That's not too good. It's really not. It's disappointing to say the least. Marilinen, I think I'm saying it right. Goals against average 3.36. So, golden opportunity for the Wild to take care of business here. But historically, our matinee games have not been all so great. Maybe a little better lately. I don't know. It changes every year, it seems like. But goals, Wild 26th, Ottawa 19th, power play Wild 11th, Ottawa 5th. Holy cow. So they score, but they give up a lot. Yeah, you look at everything here, and it tells you Wild 8th in the goals against, Ottawa 21st. You think it'd be even worse. Penalty kill is 31st in the league for the Ottawa Senators, more than 10% worse than the Minnesota Wild, who are 17th. Penalty minutes, the Wild have the least. Ottawa's got the 18th deal. Eastern Conference matchup, so of course you're only playing them twice a year. This one is in the Grand Casino Arena. The next one will be April 4th in Ottawa at noon. So we're going weekend with these two teams, or just weekend. We're only playing them twice. Tim Strutzel, I'm probably saying that totally wrong, but what the heck. I am. But 29 games, 26 points, 12 goals, 14 assists. Drake Batherson in only 26 games also has 26 points. Jake Sanderson, obviously wonderful player, 6 goals, 18 assists for him. Solid season. Claude Giroux getting way up there in years now, down to only 17 points in 29 games. Not the same player he once was, but that's just kind of how that goes, unfortunately. And Tkachuk has only played in 9 games, 9 points, 1 goal, 8 assists. Brady Tkachuk, and I haven't been looking at the injuries, so that's another mistake I continue to do, and I apologize. I'm going to backtrack to the Stars super quick to look at the injury situation. Of course, yeah, they're right there in front of me. It just looks different because they did a lot of updates. Ela, this is the Dallas Stars. Lebushkin out. He won't accompany the team in 2-game road trip. Okay, Tyler Seguin, long-term injured reserve. So yeah, he's done. Unfortunately, for at least for a while, he's always hurt. Unfortunately for him, Leon Bushell. That was as of December 2nd, by the way, for Tyler Seguin. Leon Bushell, December 1st, long-term injured reserve. Okay, yeah. So those, but the injured reserve officially was on 6th for both of those guys. Zuccarello, Matt Zuccarello exited Monday's December 8th game against the Kraken. Should be considered day-to-day. Okay. Jake Middleton, day-to-day, did not return on Monday, the 8th again. Also, unfortunately, no update on the status. Foligno has been out since November 28th, week to week, which sounds more like a broken bone somewhere or something. So that's unfortunate for old Marcus. Definitely not racking up the points this year. Doing intangibles, yeah, when he's healthy, but unfortunately not healthy at Le Moment. Ottawa Senators, Shane Pinto. Injured reserve as of December 6th. And that's all you get. Tamat Shabbat. Did not travel with the team for the upcoming 3-game road trip. And that's all you get. That was back on December 10th. And he's been out since the 24th of November. That is a not very exciting day for me, at least late in the night. Got hurt, unfortunately. Let's move on from that. Sorry. That was the Ottawa Senators. The Wild will beat the Ottawa Senators 5. They're gonna beat them. It'll be a higher scoring one, kind of, sort of like 5-3, 4-3, something like that. But the Wild win. Most likely going to score will be Matt Boldy against the Ottawa. Nope, Kirill Kaprizov. We got a Matt Boldy one coming up here. Boston Bruins. Nudge, nudge. Hint, hint. Where's Matt Boldy from? I can't remember. Yeah, he's from Boston. The Boston Bruins are kind of back at it again, which I'm happy about. I like to see the Boston Bruins do well. It's not fun watching the Bruins suck. So some of you probably think, oh, why? Why do you care? If the Bruins suck, that's great. Not really. I think it's better when they're good, honestly. This one is Sunday at 5 p.m. One of those, early evening type of deals. Late afternoon, early evening. Of course, again, it's not Eastern Conference team again. Next game will be in Boston. This one is in Grand Casino. Boston will be March 28th, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Boston's had their ups and downs. What are they? They're 18-13 and haven't had a single overtime loss. Interesting. So, good for them there. They'll be losing more in regulation, though. Ha. Just kidding. Michael Callahan, pardon me, injured reserve December 4th. Henry Jokiharu, injured reserve November 29th. Match Blumel, injured reserve Friday, November 28th. And that's all you get. Well, thanks. Boston's back to scoring goals. They're 5th in the league. Power play 6th. Goals against 22nd, so they're kind of like Ottawa, but better. Scoring and scoring, but their penalty kill, that's the difference. 10th, rather than 31st or something. And they're 2nd in the league in penalty minutes, so they get a lot of penalty minutes. Going back to the old historic game against the North Stars in the early 80s. But we'll get off of that. As cool as it was. Ottawa Senators, Jeremy Swayman, who at times can be a franchise goaltender, he's been pretty good. 2.67 goals against average, but no shutouts. Save percentage of 91.3. Morgan Geekie, I'm probably saying it wrong, 32 points. Pasternak, who I've said wrong forever, 26 games, 32 points. Geekie has got 22 goals. What the heck? 22 goals for Morgan Geekie. Good for you, Morgan. He's been spectacular, to say the least. Truly has. That's a good numbers there, Yep, and the crazy part is he's not that young. I mean, 1998, third round pick by the Carolina Hurricanes years ago. He's been solid. I mean, he was a very, very late bloomer for the most part. He was a late bloomer, yes. Fairly late bloomer. Kind of got going with Seattle. So opened up his career with Carolina. Of course, that's where he was drafted in 2017. Kind of a late bloomer. Not really, I guess. He was a couple years in. And now, look at him now. I mean, he's becoming a pretty nice player with Boston last year, even 33 goals last year. Now, he's lacking in the assist department for the most part, though. He started out his career being a guy who was more of a playmaker. Now it's just goals. But good for him, generally speaking. Interesting one there. And Morgan Geekie. Not one of the household names necessarily. Elias Lindholm with 18 points, more of a household name. 21 games for him. McAvoy, only 19 games for him, but 14 points. But not on the injured list this time, so they're out playing. And when healthy, Boston can be a threat for sure. Merit Kuznetsov, watch. Remember that guy. 8 points for Merit Kuznetsov. Good for him, 26 games. He's been in the lineup, generally speaking. He's not a star or anything, but I don't know, I'd rather have him than the Ben Joneses or Tyler Pitlick. I'd rather have Merit Kuznetsov right now. He wouldn't cost any more. Damn it. Casey Middlestat, has he lived up to the hype? I would say no. I know you're going to hate me for that, but I'm going to say it. It is what it is. I'm probably not the only person saying it, am I? Most people are quiet about him now, I guess. 21 games, 12 points. I mean, obviously years ago he was very highly touted. Of course, played for the Gophers one damn year. That's it. And he's had a couple of good years, but generally speaking, is he a top 5 pick in the league? Nah. Nah. Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild. It's been a historic kind of a back and forth battle between these teams. They're third in the Atlantic over there in Boston. Good for them, I suppose. Kind of similar standing to the Wild here in the Central Division. Where do we go with this one? That's the Met, of course, Metropolitan Division. Where do we go with this? It's an interesting matchup, of course. I want to believe the Wild can continue to, the Wild can get the job done, but it's such a tough call at the end of the day, because it's been, they've been an up and down team during the course of the season. I'm going to pick a loss. I really don't want to, because I think the Wild basically go 500 this week. Maybe we get 5 out of 8 points. It's going to be something like that. It's 4 or 5 out of 8 points. I think maybe it's an overtime loss to the Boston Bruins, something along the likes of like 4-3, 3-2, 4-3 kind of game. Most likely got to score Matt Boldy against the Boston Bruins. Let's keep moving for the sake of time. The Washington Capitals. The Wild have definitely had great games against the Capitals, and we've had some lousy ones. They're in first place in the Metropolitan Division and number 1 in the Eastern Conference, them being the Washington Capitals. This is the second matchup of the two. Washington Capitals did spank the Wild pretty bad back in October the 17th, 5-1. Smushed us pretty bad. Would like to believe the Wild split this season series. We'll get back to that in a moment. Charlie Lindgren, the goaltender, injured reserve, but he's trending in the right direction as of December 10th. We'll see what happens. Ryan Leonard going to be out for an extended period of time as of December 10th. All right. John Carlson probable for December 11th versus the Hurricanes. Okay, so probably play against the Wild, I'm guessing. Yes, Ovechkin got his 900th goal earlier this season, and good for him. Goals, Washington is 4th. They're all scored by Ovechkin. He's the only guy who scores in Washington. No, I'm just kidding. Power play 26. That's surprising for a team that record. All right. Goals against, they're 2nd in the league. So good goaltending there in Washington. Penalty kills 28th. So they're pretty awful on both special teams. More of a 5-on-5 team, I suppose. And they're right in the middle in penalty minutes at 15th. Interesting. That's very interesting. Logan Thompson's been absolutely great. The former Vegas prospect years ago, who would have his moments, but overall, he'd be in and out of the lineup with injuries and such. Been staying healthy in Washington. 13-6 on the season. Goals against average of 196. Save percentage of 92.5 and a shutout. Charlie Lindgren also chipped in a shutout. He's played in 10 games, but he's hurt right now. Tom Wilson leading the team in scoring. What do you think of that? Goals and assists. Nope, not assists, but goals and points. 32 points for Tom Wilson with his 54 penalty minutes to lead the way. Leading the team in goals and penalty minutes. All right. Alex Ovechkin. Ever heard of him? 14 goals, 15 assists, 29 points. Plus 11 on the season in 30 games. Tom Wilson's a plus 19. Jacob Chychrun. Remember him? Yeah, that guy that'd been, I wish this team could trade for him. Where's he going to wind up? Well, he's at Washington now. 25 points, and he's a plus 24 to lead the way. Excellent season for him so far. The other defenseman, John Carlson, who's apparently coming back from a short-term injury. 23 points in 26 games for him. Very productive season. Washington looking pretty good. Former Minnesota Wild player, watch Brandon Duhaime. Once again, more goals than assists. 4 goals, 2 assists in 30 games, 6 points. Nothing spectacular. But again, the conversation was out there. You'd probably rather have Brandon Duhaime and, why am I blanking on the guy? Connor Dewar in the Minnesota Wild 4th line versus the Pitlicks and the Ben Joneses. Yes, I would. Raise your hand. Yes, please. It's not like you got to pay them $5 million a year, doggone it. So I'd rather have them back. Yeah, I know people are probably like, who cares? Yeah, well, they know their role. They're not like getting moved up or anything. I don't know. I'd like to see Ogren play, but it'd have to be on a higher line. But we just had to get Tarasenko though. You don't get Tarasenko, you're just being dumb. You're missing an opportunity. You big dummies. He might score an empty netter for you once in a while. Maybe. We hope. Anyhow, Minnesota versus Washington. I'd like to believe the Wild split the season series. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like we drop the Boston game, maybe an OT. We get a point out of it. Wild will beat Ottawa, and if we don't, we're playing with our food. Like, come on, guys. Stop screwing around. Who knows? This might go polar opposite. The Wild beat the Stars and lose to Ottawa or something stupid like that, and then beat Boston and get shellacked by Washington. Who knows? But I don't think Washington sweeps the Wild this year. I would like to believe the Wild come out and win 4-2 over the Washington Capitals. I think it can be done. Maybe more like a 3-2 game. Maybe, yeah, something along those lines. Like a 3-2. It's going to be lower scoring because you got two high-end goaltenders here, be it Gustafsson or Wallstead versus Logan Thompson. Going to go with the Wild winning the game. The most likely guy to score for Minnesota is going to be Brock Faber. Brock Faber's going to score against the Washington Capitals, and the Wild get the job done. Otherwise, you'd like to say Kirill the Thrill being for real at the end of the day. Let's say Kirill Kaprizov. You know, this is a Kaprizov kind of game. The Wild do get the job done against the Capitals. So let's look at the prospects a little bit quick as possible for sake of time, and hopefully it's not boring you too much here with me babbling a whole lot. That's my hope, that I'm not boring you at the end of the day. That's number one, no doubt about it. Ryan O'Rourke watch, just for the sake of, Ryan O'Rourke. He is on the Laval Rocket, 3 games, 0 points. Otherwise, he's been in the ECHL with 1 goal. Well, at least he's even in the AHL, and he's a +2 in the ECHL. So just wanted to get caught up on Ryan O'Rourke. Haven't brought him up in a while. It's obviously he's no longer a member of the Minnesota Wild organization, unfortunately. Oh boy, yep. Let's look at the Iowa Wild. Do we have to? Yep, Jack Pert, 22 games, still at 4 points. Gerald Mayhew. Yep, he's back, and yay, and he's a -8, and he's got 13 points in 20 games. He's leading the team in 8 goals, with 8 goals, excuse me. David Spacek got his 11th assist the other day. Number 1 in the team in for defense scoring. No goals on the year, but still only 22 years of age, and I'd like to see him get a shot. Hunter Haight got his 5th goal, which is tied for second on the team in scoring. So at least he's been doing something. He's back down with Iowa. He's got 6 points in 15 games, though, which is not dazzling, and he's a -9. Ugh. Michael Milne, -9, also 5 points in 14 games. Carson Lambos, 5 points in 24 games, but only a -1. And so that's kind of encouraging a little bit. Jack Pert, not encouraging. He's a -12. Jeez, man. Defensive-minded guy, and he's a -12. Kenan Bankir, I think it's kind of encouraging. He's only a -2, but he's got only 6 points in 21 games. It's like you try to just grasp for positive somewhere, please. Again, Lambeau's having that only -1. That's nice, but he's only got 5 lousy points. I don't know what to say. It's like everybody goes down to Iowa and they play worse. Cal Peterson, not Carl, 2.7 goals against average, which is actually pretty respectable considering how lousy this team has been. But the 3-11 record, yeah, it's telling. Like, good goaltending from Peterson, but they're not winning games, bottom line. Save percentage just at 90, basically.
Whether you're gifting, decorating, or treating yourself, Lowe's December deal drops are here to help you save more all month long. Get up to 50% off select holiday decor. Plus, get up to 45% off select tools and accessories. Shop new December deal drops every week this month and get so much more out of your holidays. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
It's been a nightmare, generally speaking, in Iowa the last 3-4 years now. It's been adding up. It's not just once or twice. Riley Height, 6 points in 23 games, -10. Yeah, let's get off of Iowa, okay? It's depressing to a point of I'm not sure what to tell you at this stage. Don't you just love it? No, I don't either. I really don't. I hate it, actually. Petrovsky's in the Czech League, 4 points. He's a +5 over there. 4 goals. They're all goals, by the way. He's been in the Czech League. Yep, he's not with Owen Sound anymore in the OHL. He's in that Czech land there. So we'll see what happens with him. Ryan Healy in Harvard, senior year, 7 points. He's definitely becoming more of a offensive defenseman all of a sudden after he's been up and down. Like his freshman year, not much going on, all defense. The second year, the offense went up, he was a -26. Last year, defense came back, -4 and only 13 points. This year, he's got 7 already, and he's a +4 for Harvard in only 11 games. So Ryan Healy, nice little step forward in his senior year coming out of Massachusetts. Where am I going? Roger Lorenz go to Denver. Again, good, pretty big step forward this year. Plus 12 on the season. In 17 games, 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists for the University of Denver. And he also is a senior, of course. Please. Oh, my heavens. As a certain Minnesota Vikings play-by-play announcer might say. Oh, my heavens. Jimmy Clark, Minnesota Gophers, of course, 7th-round pick for the Wild. 12 points in 19 games, and he's a plus 4. Not bad. Not bad. Left winger there in that case. Excuse me. Jalen Parker, former Victoria Royale, won it all with the Moose Jaw Warriors 2 years ago. Michigan Tech this year with the Huskies. 5 points in 16 games. He's a plus 1. Right shot defenseman in Kalen Parker's case. Aaron Pionk, again, I don't know what the heck changed here. He was a scoring defenseman for the most part. Lots of assists, power play quarterback kind of guy. 20 points in 37 games, 26 points in 36 games, and this year 1 point, 1 assist in 18 games. I don't know. Sad. Sad to see. Also sad, Rasmus Kumpalainen finally got his second assist in 22 games for the Iowa Wild. -5 for Rasmus Kumpalainen. Not translating yet. Charlie Stremel, 18 points in 16 games. He's a plus 16 for the Michigan State. Not a fan of the Spartans at all, but Charlie Stremel, you're doing a great job. So he's a plus point a game guy now, and it is wonderful. It's wonderful to see. Wonderful progress at the collegiate level. Very disappointing freshman year, even more disappointing sophomore year with Wisconsin. Last year, huge step forward. 27 points in 37 games with a plus 13, but this year he is, looking like a legit player at the collegiate level at the very least. Stevie Leskovar, Mr. Penalty Minute in some ways. These are the Iowa Heartlanders with 1 goal in 12 games, and that's about it, unfortunately. Woodsky, who's been in the conversation for Prospect of the Week at MNW Young Guns, has had icky numbers at times, but his numbers of the Red Dirt Rebels have been good, 2.73, but with Moose Jaw, 3.77 goals against average. His save percentage is actually higher, though, which tells you, what the heck. He's facing a huge volume of shots. The defense in front of him has not been good in Moose Jaw. So that's disappointing for him, I'm sure. Justin Kipke, skating with the Arizona State Sun Devils. 5 assists in 15 games, -6. Carter Klippenstein, who's been having his ups and downs, generally speaking, but not too bad. Step forward this year. Doesn't jump out at you a whole lot. 20 points in 25 games for the Brandon Wheat Kings in the WHL. Plus 9 on the year. Again, doesn't jump out at you a whole lot, but he's only 19. So we'll see what happens with him. Lirim Amadovsky, 17 points in 27 games, plus 6 for North Bay Battalion in the OHL. Again, none of these guys are point-a-game players, and these are forwards. So it's a little bit, Adam Bennick, 26 games, 43 points, plus 20 for the Brantford Bulldogs. Again, those numbers do jump out, but again, it is the OHL, and we've had this discussion off and on. Derek Felska of Crease Assist Podcast, which is a very frequent conversation on this show. Obviously, an amazing podcast. They do a great job there. Derek, Teresa, Kalisha, and Steve's been on there as well. So Brand Steve, I believe, is what he goes by. He's pretty good. I don't know if he's permanent or he's kind of like a frequent guest. I don't know if he's a permanent member of the show, but he's pretty good too. I like it. So it can be up to it's like a 4 people round table at times. So hey, not bad. Really nice show, of course. Theodore Hulkvist was the highest pick for the Wild this past summer, whatever. Round 2, 52nd overall. Swedish Hockey League. He's been between the junior and the I don't know if that's like the junior and pro, minor pro, I think is what it would be. That's what I'm thinking, because the dark green is no more pro, right? That was last year. Oh, and this year, yeah. He's been kind of through all 3. The junior level in Sweden, 5 assists in 11 games, plus 6. The Swede 1, I do believe that's like the AHL version of Sweden. That would be 2 assists in 15 games, a -4. And in the major league level, 6 games, 1 assist. But he's even. He's a right shot defenseman, and he's 18 years of age. He doesn't turn 19 until June 14th, so he's a very young player. drafted by the Wild in June last year. Super young, had just turned 18 at the time. But so we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's very early in his career. I didn't even look at Kiwi Haru and some of these other guys. We'll look at Kiwi Haru quick. Yep, 7 points in 22 games. He's a -7 there in Helsinki, but it is a pro league at the very least. It's the dark green there. Ryder Ritchie, who is with Boston University and putting up some solid numbers. He's not jumping out like holy crap, but he's he's competitive in the league. Right shot, right wing, 19 years of age. Doesn't turn 20 until next August, so that's the cool part. 17 games, 11 points, -5 for Boston University, one of those huge schools that we've all heard of if you watch college hockey, because they're usually in the tournament, yes. With that said, we'll take a quick break and return for fan interaction, which should be truncated, unfortunately. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 3, fan interaction. Should be short, unfortunately, just because I didn't interact much at all this past week. And again, just tied up with other things, and that's how it goes. It's my own fault. Want to thank people for retweeting the recent episode. Really appreciate those that have, and if you could in the future, and also a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you could do that, it would really help the show, and I haven't really been bringing that up ever. And it would help a lot, so please do that. I think we have I think I only have one comment. Yep, and that's my own fault, but at least it's Derek, and I love hearing from Derek. I was saying Minnesota Wild scoring needs to wake up. 1 goal versus Edmonton, 1 goal versus Calgary, and so far only 1 goal tonight. Can't win games this way. I believe this is against the Vancouver Canucks. Derek Felska says, the Minnesota Wild score their goals in moderation. Top line figures it can press the issue for a few minutes, and the team will have just enough to get the job done. Secondary scoring is just about non-existent. And yep, that's for sure. And that's why they acquired Vladimir Tarasenko, to try to get secondary scoring, and he's simply not giving it to us. We were hoping maybe like a Liam Ogren can provide secondary scoring, but he's being stuck in the fourth line and given zero opportunity to do a whole lot else, which is frustrating. Obviously the Hartmans, the Valinos, and guys like that haven't been doing it either. You wish you could get some scoring from like a Faber or something, but yep, I mean, that's been the problem. It's been kind of the main guys, and when the main guys aren't producing, you're pretty much sunk, and that's what's been going on with the Wild so far this season. Again, thank you, Derek. That was awesome, as always. MNW Young Guns, huge shout-out. Obviously, Crease Assist Podcast, huge shout-out. Minnesota Wild Global, huge shout-out to that Facebook page as well. With that said, so we're going to probably get out of here now. Want to thank all of you again so much for listening. Again, if you could put positive ratings, 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Tell your friends about the show. Retweet, share it, click like, depending on where it is, and it would help a lot. Just thank you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll try to be better about interacting. I need to be better. This week was kind of weird. It's like it's Thursday already? Oh, my God. It's Thursday tomorrow already, and I didn't put anything out, and it was too late. So with that, we will bid adieu until next week. Hopefully the Wild can have a strong one against some tougher opponents this upcoming week.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening. Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday.